Hello. Today I have in front of me a very simple repair. It's a Samsung Galaxy A51. It's in for a screen repair. You can see this is the original screen here, and the glass is cracked. The LCD or OLED behind still works, but the front glass is cracked. Now, some of you may have seen Mr. Louis Rossman's video yesterday where he touched on Samsung and how they are pairing components in a very similar way to Apple, and they're disabling software features if component serials do not match what the unique logic board is looking for. So I want to demonstrate to you, I actually found this out today. We've been repairing A51s without an issue. They're not the most popular handset, but we've had no issues with them. But this is a very similar problem that I've discovered today with this device that came into the repair queue. It's an A51 simple screen repair. At the moment, we had already done this repair. It was in here. Here is a new screen. It's a service pack from a Samsung authorised supplier. It's got a new battery in it because their original battery, the phone was randomly restarting, the customer complained. So, whoops. So I'm going to show you. This is the original phone, original screen. And if I go to biometrics and security and go to fingerprints, passcode in. And here it is. Scan my finger. There you go. So I'm going to add my fingerprint to this phone and demonstrate that it works as quickly as I can. Now, I'm going to be moving the innards of this phone over to the screen next to me to see whether it works there afterwards. So there's going to be some time in this video where the phones are booting and it's going to be a bit boring. There's not a lot I can do about that. There we go. Okay, so the fingerprint is now added to this phone. This phone knows my fingerprint. So I'm going to lock the screen. And I'm going to unlock it using my fingerprint. Technology is amazing. Right, so now it's got that fingerprint stored. I'm going to power this phone off. I'm going to move the insides of this phone over to this screen here and see if the fingerprint still works. Battery, disconnect that. Now I've got some people have reached out to me since the video yesterday and said, oh, maybe the fingerprint scanner itself, because it's in a new screen, the depth of it needs to be recalibrated using software for that reason. No, because before the recent security updates, it worked absolutely fine in replacement screens. There was no reason for any of that rubbish. So the fingerprint sensor is now clear. I'm going to get the unplug the screen. Then I'm going to move both of these boards over, the main logic board and the daughter board, without unplugging anything, just because I don't want anyone to say it was a loose connection or anything like that. So that one's up. Antenna stays plugged in. Over to there. Plug the screen in. Fingerprint sensor pops straight in. I'm just going to screw it into place. For the frame to fit in, I need to get that antenna cable nice there. And the very last thing, plug the battery in. There. So you just stay there for a moment, and then I'm going to feed this frame back on. There we go. Okay, then we'll turn it on. Now, the first time you boot, it will not recognize your fingerprint because you need to put your passcode lock in once for security reasons to make sure that it's you. And this should still know my fingerprint. It should still have it stored in the settings. Hello? Okay. So settings, biometrics and security. One fingerprint has been added. Yep, that's right. I'm going to add another one. So add fingerprint. Screen covers, yep, thank you. Start scanning. There we go. Right, I'm going to start scanning. I'm going to do the same, no, actually, I'm going to do the same finger. Here. Just going to add it again. My finger is covering it just the same as it was on the other screen. Okay, but it doesn't like that finger, so I'm going to try my thumb. Yeah. So in the new screen, with all of the same innards, the only thing that's changed is the screen, other than the battery, but the battery does not affect this. It doesn't want to scan my fingerprint. I mean, it sort of tries to and then stops. But I can see it's got my fingerprint added still. So I'm going to lock the phone and then I'm going to unlock it with the same finger, the same as I did on the old display. Okay, so no match, no match, no match. Okay, so I'll tell you what, it doesn't want to work in the new screen. I'm going to turn it off again. I'm going to move it all back to the original screen and see what it wants to do then. Battery. Screw 1. Screw 2. Unplug the display. Keep it all connected. Plug the display in. Feed that epoxy antenna cable. There we go. So back in, feed the frame back on to get it turned on. There. So again, as this boots up, when it gets to the lock screen, it's not going to accept my fingerprint because it needs to have the passcode lock entered once. So there we go. I'm going to go to settings and just check that it's got my fingerprint in there still. One fingerprint has been added, and I'm going to lock the screen and use that same finger and it works back in the original screen. So there we go. If I go to biometric security patch, it says the latest version is installed. Fingerprint 5.0.0.10 and face recognition 1.0.0.34. I haven't played with the face recognition with the changing of screens. But yeah, with the fingerprint, it looks like with new displays, the fingerprint software is disabled with a new display, unless you have access to the Samsung proprietary calibration tools, which you need server-based access for. So yeah, there we go, guys.